Lots of ideas come to your mind even while I was writing this book. Some of them are the small things that you can do to reduce your own consumption as an individual. And other ones are the really radical ideas. And I think I would like to explore those a little bit more to see how realistic they are. Things like the United Nations has an international court, and we're concerned about crimes against humanity. Why don't we have an environmental court and crimes against the planet? That would be one. How could we change political systems in countries so that there is a representative for the environment? At the moment, it's just politicians who turn over every 5 or 10 years, and they have to say nice things and keep people happy, which means often encouraging them to consume more. If we really try and think of a radical idea, would be, could we have a global currency? And the global currency would be, maybe you could call it the carb or the eco. And this would be calculated according to what's left in the world. What is there a lot of? What is there a little of? And the value of the currency would be directly connected to the environment. And others have done studies on this, and they look at what's the cost of pollution in China, and I think their calculation was it's worth 5.7 points of China's growth. So if you consider China's growth that year was around 10%, you take that away, you end up with 4 or 5% growth, which is, it's good, but it's not as spectacular as you think. And there have been efforts within China, within the Chinese government, for the GDP to be calculated like this. But this idea of green GDP, as they call it, this idea was killed. Some of the local officials saw what would happen to the proud growth figures that they have, and said, no, we don't want that. We're not going to go that far down suddenly. So there will always be this resistance by those who concentrate more on the economy and the old model of growth.